So those of you who have joined us, thank you so much. We'll get started in about 3 minutes. Give a little time for other employers to log in. Okay, it is 4 o'clock. Thank you so much, those who are joining us. We have a little smaller group now than we did at lunchtime, but that means you get more time to ask questions you may have. So I am Jeff Lewis. I'm the Assistant Director of Employer Relations here at the SUU Career Center. Joining us on our team is Brandon Street, our director, Dusty Peterson and Lindsay Arnold, also from Career Center, and then our partner in the Dixie L. Levitt School of Business, Madeline Swanson, the Business Career Services Coordinator. So we know that Handshake's done a lot to try and get employers up to speed on this new virtual fair platform, but we wanted to take a little more time specifically with our valued SUU employers to walk you through, give you the chance to ask questions. I will say that everything we're presenting here will apply to all 3 of our fall fairs. So that's the local job fair and the Meet the Firms, Accounting Meet the Firms night on Wednesday, September 16th, as well as the Career and Internship Fair on Wednesday, November 4th. Additionally, all the information we're going to present, with one small exception, will apply to any Handshake virtual fairs with any career center. So I'll just cover those 2 exceptions really quick, and that is how we're identifying sponsors. Because Handshake got this out in a rush, it was a 5-year plan, and when the pandemic hit, they said, we're gonna put all our resources behind this and get this moonshot project done in a few months, which we're so grateful for. So it doesn't have all the features it will in the future, and that includes a designation for sponsors. So SUU, what we've done, if you wanna be a sponsor, we're going to have your name, your company name up here at the top on the logo, as well as in bright red on the career fair description for both students and employers. So I'll show you what that student view would look like here. So when students first log into the fair, they'll see the event sponsor names, and then we're also putting in big bold text at the top of the employer description that you are an event sponsor. So with that small exception, everything here that we're going to talk about applies to all virtual Handshake fairs. So the first thing is, how do you register and sign up? A lot of you registered before this changed into a virtual fair, and so we appreciate that, and there may be some glitches. So if you find that you're not able to set up your schedule for any reason, please do reach out to us and we'll walk you through that. We'll help you contact Handshake support and get that taken care of. If you've not signed up yet for any given fair, then this is the process you would go through. Once you've clicked on that fair, there's a big button at the top that says register. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Once you click on register, it'll take you to a page that is very similar to the registration you've used on Handshake for other fairs. It does load a little slower when we have Zoom going, so bear with me. Once that gets loaded up, as normal, you'll put in what type of registration you want, whether it's a sponsor, regular, etc., how many representatives are attending. You can put in their names. So in my case, I'll put in me, and we'll put in Brandon. Okay. And then if there were any additional items, you could choose those. You can put your employer description. One best practice here we'd recommend is put contact information for your main recruiter or your main recruiting email address, and say something like, if you're not able to connect with us during the fair, please email your resume to certain email address. And that way, if you get all of your appointments booked up, which we hope you will, students who really wanted to connect with you will still have that opportunity, okay? It does ask what division you are registering for. This right now actually won't work on Handshake virtual platforms because they wanted to roll out this launch quickly and have it ready for fall. You will not be able to register separate divisions. So once one organization or one part of your organization is in there, you're not going to be able, for example, to register School of Business and Career Center or Marketing and IT. If you do need 15, if you need more than 15 reps, which is how many currently can attend the virtual fair, you will temporarily, the workaround Handshake has advised is you temporarily set up a new employer account for the IT team or the marketing team or whichever additional division would be joining. That does seem a little bit awkward, and if you ask to register at a career center, we'll probably think it's a scam. So another best practice is reach out by email or phone to your career center reps and let them know, hey, as a workaround for the virtual fair, we're setting up a new account for our IT team so they can join, and our marketing team so they can join, just to make sure that you don't get declined or look like it's a fake account. Okay, so then just like other Handshake fairs, you put what jobs you're hiring for if they're posted on Handshake. For sake of time, I'm just going to click not hiring for a specific role. Work authorization, you can put full-time, part-time, job types, major groups, payment, agree to the refund policy, and click on create registration. So once you've got that registration created, again, it's a little slow because we're on Zoom. Once that's created, you'll be able to manage your schedule. So the first time you get in, company description is too long. That's fascinating. Oh, it does say that. Minus 40 characters remaining. So we're going to delete that. Apologize for that delay there. For this test account, I did set it up to just have the bare minimum. So back down here, create registration. But this is real life, right? This is what you're going to run into when you sign up for a fair. So now, fingers crossed, this will go through this time. Perfect. So registration was successfully created. I can see the overview on here. I can go back and edit it. And now if I go into my fairs, show your schools only. Okay, so now I have a pending registration. The Career Center would have to approve that, and then I can go in and add my schedule, okay? So I will show you the Career Center view really quick and approve myself for that fair. So you get the super secret back-end view here. It's actually fairly similar to the employers with just a few more options. Okay, so click in there, it shows on my side I have one pending registration. Once it finally loads, I will click on approve. Okay, so I'll view employers here. And I will click approve. And we're good. So back to the employers view here. If I click on this test ignore, then I can see that I'm registered and I have this big blue button that says add schedule. Okay, so click on that. And you need to make sure you have any representatives who are going to join you in here. So I have no sessions yet. Click add sessions. And then it will give me the option to add team members. So for example, if I wanted me and Brandon and Madeline all in here, click on add team. Are we going to have group sessions? Yes, we are. Are they in Handshake? They're in Handshake. We recommend you use the Handshake unless you've got a really robust other system that you're highly comfortable and confident using, because you will have to put that information in for students. So if I click external instead, I'll need the title, description, and the video URL. Students will have to click and leave Handshake for that portion of the fair and then come back in to get to their other sessions. So if you are very comfortable and confident using that, that's a great option for you. If you're not, we recommend just stick with the Handshake video session, simply because the students are already in there and they can stay in that fair for the duration, okay? So I can give it a title. I'm just gonna call it test session 1. I can put in a description up to 250 characters. I'm just gonna have one person host, and we do as a best practice recommend that you have just one rep hosting each group session, simply because then the other reps can be simultaneously on those one-on-one sessions with other students and have more sessions available, okay? So then I can select the time. Obviously I made this at a time that nobody's going to join it because it's a test. So we'll have our group session at 1 a.m. I can add up to 3 sessions currently. Handshake will try to roll out 5 sessions in the near future. As of right now, it's 3 sessions. For now, I'm just going to delete that and keep the 1 session. So if I'm done, confirm sessions. Next, I will add the hosts for those sessions. So session 1 is just going to be me. I'm going to let Brandon and Madeline be free for the one-on-ones. So assign my team. Who's going to be doing one-on-one sessions? Well, all 3 of us will. So add it. Do you want to add preferences? We generally recommend no, because that will limit what students are able to access your one-on-one appointments. So for example, if you say, I only want accounting majors, that's great. You'll only get accounting majors who have their profile set as accounting, but there might be a student who has a lot of experience in the field of accounting and is thinking about switching majors. They will not be able to meet with you. So if you do feel that it's important, you can filter. If you don't want that filter, then you can leave that as a no, okay? So if I wanted to add preferences, if I click on yes, add requirements, and then I can put those in there. So I'll go ahead and schedule the sessions, add one-on-one, schedule sessions. You have to do this for each person in your team. It does take a minute if you have a few more. And now assign team. Okay, so this is pretty much your last chance to get everything right. So Handshake, again, did roll this out very quickly with as many features as possible to get it going for the fall. There are options to add to your schedule after, but they are somewhat limited and don't work as well as fixing them right here. So I know you can't predict the future of what's going to happen in October, but please try as much as you can to get the sessions confirmed and correct here. So once I confirm schedule and invite team, Brandon and Madeline are going to get emails that say, please claim your schedule. And then they can check, yes, I'm available for these one-on-ones, mark themselves busy for times that they need to take a break. Obviously, if it's all back-to-back, you got to have a break in there somehow, okay? So now I can go back in and manage sessions and say, oh, I wanted to change something, okay? So if I click that, then it takes me back through this whole process again. But me, Brandon, and Madeline, we're locked in. We're already in there. So I can only add people, not subtract them, okay? Same thing with the group sessions. Those are set, okay? So I can add more group sessions, but I can't really delete this one. It's already locked in, okay? And same thing for the one-on-one. For the host of the test session 1, that's locked in. For the one-on-one sessions, those are locked in, except I can edit the required qualifications. So really, it's only if you are adding another team member would that be very useful to you at this point in time, okay? Now, what is more editable is, once this loads, and I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our virtual fair walkthrough for the duration. So now my schedule on this tab, if something has changed, if a student has booked or canceled an appointment, I'll get a note up at the top, which is nice, to click on refresh, and that'll refresh my schedule. I can set myself as busy for certain times. I can cancel meetings. Again, if you cancel it, that slot is gone. You're not going to be able to go back and refill it in or renew it as of now. Handshake may roll out new features day by day, but as of right now, if you cancel a group or a one-on-one meeting, that time slot is gone for you. But what's nice is I can also go into my other teammates' sessions and see what's open and what's busy. So if Brandon calls in, he says, you know what, Jeff, I just got called into the director's meeting last minute. Please take me off from 2 to 3 p.m. I can now go and mark him as busy for all of those slots, marking them one at a time, okay? So I'm gonna open this up for questions right now, and as we go through, please type in questions in the chat box. Madeline's gonna be reading those out as we go through to make sure you have all your questions answered. But as of right now, registering and setting up your schedule, does anyone have any questions?
I'm not seeing any questions right now. If you want to pause a second, we can, but no questions as of right now.
Okay, perfect. So if you do think of questions, again, just type them in the chat box and we'll get those answered for you. Okay, so moving on, this is basically what you would see as an employer when you first come into the fair. You can click on register, you can favorite it. You'll be able to see the details, the whole description of it, see everyone who's attended, the employers who have signed up, and then click on your schedule to get back to managing that, okay? When you're in your schedule, wait for that to load, you can see whether and which students have signed up for one-on-one sessions, and you can see whether and how many students have signed up for the group sessions. So right now, for those group, it just lists the number of attendees. So we've got 5 RSVPs for this session. It doesn't let you know or see which students have signed up for that yet. Hopefully that will be coming in the near future. So right now I've got a meeting going on with Dusty Peterson, and I'm late because it started at 4:10 and it's 4:15. So we're gonna jump on there.
Hey Jeff,
yes, please.
Before we jump, I know we have to do this in the next 5 minutes. We did have a quick question. If we're already registered, is there a certain login that we need to use in order to access our schedules?
Yeah, so generally the person who registered and signed up will be the owner of the schedule and be able to edit other people's schedules. Any rep who's attending that fair can log in with their Handshake account and manage their own schedule. Okay, great question, thanks. So this may be a little bit glitchy since we're on Zoom and we're going to be on the Handshake video at the same time. So I'm gonna turn off my camera here. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear me okay. But if not, we'll have Madeline translate. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off this video. So I will click on this launch video button, and that will take me into the one-on-one meeting with the student. And once it comes up, it'll give me the option to test my camera and mic. You may get a pop-up from your browser asking you to allow it. Okay, so I can test my video here. I can test my microphone, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to give you feedback. And you can click your audio video settings or report a problem. And I'm going to mute my speakers for a moment while I join, again, just to prevent that feedback. So if I click on join now, then I should see Dusty pop up here in just a second. So you have a few controls. So there's Dusty, his logo, his video hasn't shown up yet. If I click on participants, I can see that Dusty and I are in the call. I have the ability to mute his microphone or video, but not to unmute. So hopefully on the screen now you can see his videos come up. If I say, hey, you're bugging me, you're interrupting, I want to turn your video off, I can do that, but I cannot turn his video back on. Only he would be able to do that, okay? I do also have the options, if he's really causing a problem, to report the user or remove them from the session. Important note here, if you remove them from the session, as of now, it doesn't give you a follow-up to then report them after you've removed. So if you're in a group session and they're being just totally inappropriate, you can remove them immediately. But if you want to report them to Handshake, you will have to click on that first before removing them. You think they're fake or fraudulent, they're harassing me or someone else, you can describe the situation and submit that report, okay? If I just click directly on remove from session, he's gone, he can't come back, and I don't get the chance to report, okay? Other controls, you do have the ability to share your screen, and we are gonna run a test of that in a little bit when we're in the group session. You can also, under settings here, report audio or adjust your audio and video settings or report a problem to Handshake, okay? Now, another great thing is if Dusty's video is not working, you do have the option to do text chat, right? Because different platforms, different software updates, you may have a case where students' video or audio or both are not working. You can still type in here. So he said, my audio is not working. Hi, Dusty. And best practice, we would recommend that you share your contact information, chat back and forth, make sure you get their contact info and that you give them your contact info so that they can follow up after the meeting. Once you click on leave session, it will give you the confirmation. Do you want to end the session for everybody or do you want to cancel? If you click end session for all, the student's done, you're not getting back in. So just be sure that you really are ready to end that. So I'll click that now. And I will restart my video and then pause for any questions on those one-on-one appointments.
Jeff, we did have a question. Tiffany asked, does every rep have to have their own account in order to be logged in to do the one-on-one?
Yes, so to participate in the fair at all, every representative will need to have an account set up. We did just get a report that Handshake has created and is live the new representative role. So in the past, for your company, you either had to be a recruiter role, which meant you could post jobs, receive applications, or an ambassador, which has even expanded privileges if you're a premium member. But they've just added the representative role, so they can attend fairs, interact with students, but not have permission to post jobs and receive applications. So you can choose from your end which type of account you want to give to them. But yes, they will need a Handshake account set up to be able to log in and interact in one-on-one or group sessions. Great question. Any others? Okay, perfect. So as I mentioned, we are going to do a group session test at 4:30. So in the next few minutes, I'll go over a few other key things. So if I know that a student has booked an appointment with me, I can view their profile, or I can cancel the meeting, or I can send them a message. The view profile and send a message currently actually both go to the same place. If I click on this send a message, it will send me to Dusty's profile. And from there, I can send him a message. I can also look at his qualifications. And if he totally doesn't fit what I'm looking for, I can reach out and message him and say, hey, Dusty, we're actually only looking for accounting majors who are graduating this spring. You don't quite meet those qualifications. Would you be so kind as to cancel our one-on-one so I can schedule it for someone else? And the reason for that is, as of now, again, these features may change, but as of right now, if I click on cancel the meeting, it will send him a message that it's canceled, but it will also cancel that time slot for me. Obviously, that doesn't make a difference right now because that time frame has passed, but if I cancel this next one at 4:20 with Madeline, she will not be able to do that, and I won't have the option to reschedule with another student. Again, that's as of right now how the system stands. Okay. Questions at this point?
There haven't been any questions to come through, Jeff.
Perfect. So I'm going to switch over to show you the students view really quick, and what they're going to see when they log in. They'll see the banner up at the top. They'll see the career fair details first, and then they'll have to click into employers who are attending, available sessions, or your sessions. So as a student, if I click on BKD, it's going to redirect me to that employer's profile. So I'm no longer in the fair, but that's okay, and I'll show you why. So once that loads, again, from the student view here, I'll be able to see all the details about the employer. I can read all about them. I can see what jobs they have available. I can see students who have worked here. And at the bottom, we're back to upcoming career fairs. I'm already registered for this one, and so I can click this link and get back in and look at other employers. Excuse me. So the fact that they're clicking off of that fair isn't a big deal to get them back. Again, they're getting more detailed information about you, and they can come back into the fair. So now as a student, I've looked at what employers are coming. If I click on your sessions, if I haven't signed up for anything yet, it's just going to list no sessions all the way down. Once I have signed up for sessions, it will show me what I've signed up for and that I can join the video. Here's actually another thing I noticed that's important to point out why you want to try and get the details right before you confirm the schedule the first time. I fully intended to have this example session A and example session B. And as of right now, after I hit confirm, there wasn't a way to go back and retitle those as A and B. So again, be careful with that. If you have just set your schedule and not had any students sign up yet, you can come to the Career Center and ask us to cancel your registration and re-register you, and that will reset everything to 0. But if you've already had students sign up for anything, that will erase their appointments as well. Okay. There are some nice tips over here for students as well, how to stand out at a virtual fair, show up on time, plan your location, make eye contact with the camera, view the article for more tips. Up at the top, if I click on available sessions, then this will show me all of the employers along with the descriptions and any sessions that they have available. Obviously, because this is a dummy fair, not everyone has sessions available. So the student can either scroll through, or in my case, I'm just going to type in Southern Utah University, and now I can see the sessions that are available. So as a student, I can click one-on-one to sign up, and it looks like Brandon has these times available. I can select any of those, or I can click on the group session, and I'm already signed up for this one. I can't cancel within 5 minutes. So that's a key thing to know, is students have to sign up for everything in advance. The big advantage is they won't be stuck standing in a queue of maybe 40 students waiting to talk to you and use up their entire career fair time. But we have to make sure that if there are any candidates you're really interested in, you let them know, hey, we need you to sign up. Because when it comes to the day of the fair, you may be booked solid, and the only way for them to contact you is if you put your contact info in the description. So that's a best practice. For one-on-one or group sessions, they need to be signed up at least a few minutes in advance and cannot cancel within 5 minutes of the start time. Okay. So from the student side, if I'm ready to join, I can click on join video. The session hasn't started yet. I believe last time we tried this, the students were able to get in 3 minutes ahead of time if the host was already in there. So I'll switch back over to the employer view and pause really quick for questions before we open that group session test.
So Jeff, we had another question come through. Tiffany asked, do you think group sessions or one-on-one sessions are more beneficial?
Super great question. We definitely feel that from everything we know from Handshake and talking with employers and talking with students, that you want to maximize the appointments available. So we definitely recommend that you have your 3 group sessions and have at least one other rep. Multiple reps will be even better. So one-on-one appointments can run simultaneously with as many reps as you want. A group session and multiple one-on-ones can run simultaneously. The only thing you can't do at the same time is 2 different group sessions. So we recommend that you have at least 1 group session. 3 would probably be better because you can get 5, 10, up to 50 students at one time, especially if you know that at in-person career fairs, you get a lot of students lining up to talk to you. You'll be able to reach more of them. And then again, maximize as many of those one-on-one appointments as you can by having as many reps as possible attend this. You don't have to pay for travel, so that's a big plus, but you do have to commit a few more resources in terms of people at that time.
Hey Jeff, can I add something?
Please.
I believe that the host has to begin the group session before anybody can join, because I've tried to join and it won't let me. So, and then I think at 4:30, anybody can join at that point.
Perfect, great. Thanks for letting us know that. So as an employer, you can launch the video early, which is great. And that gives you a chance to test your audio, test your video, make sure everything's set up. So if you do that, maybe 10 minutes ahead of time, you'll be the only one in, and then students are able to get in about 3 minutes before the launch time if you have that open. So I'm going to go ahead and click on launch video
Jeff,
here.
We have another question I think we should answer right before we do this. It says, is there a deadline to have all of our organization's schedules loaded and for students to be registered for sessions?
As far as the system, no. As far as best practice, yes. So right now, there is no deadline that employers have to get all their one-on-one and group sessions scheduled in Handshake more than a day in advance of the fair. So we've tested it at 24 hours ahead of time. You're still able to get those in. Once the fair is started live, you can't change anything. You can mark yourself busy for a one-on-one, and that's about it. You can't really make any other changes. As far as best practice, We really recommend that you get all these set up as far in advance as possible so that when students come in and click on the fair, they say, oh, wow, look at, there's 50 companies and they've all got one-on-one and group sessions. I am so excited, and I'm going to spend the whole 3 or 4 hours meeting the employers I really want to talk with. If they go in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance and see that nobody has sessions available, it's very likely they'll say, oh, well, this is a waste of my time, and then not show up for the fair. So again, technically, no, there's no deadline that you have to get those done except roughly 24 hours in advance. Students can sign up for sessions day of and even after the fair has started. Best practice, get it as early as you can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video here on Zoom again and then start the call over there. So test my video here. And again, this may slow down my audio. I apologize for that. I'll click on join now. Okay, so now I can see participants. So I'm the only one in now. Lindsay's coming in, Madeline's coming in, and Dusty's coming in. Great, so we have a few students in here. If they have their microphone and video turned on, similar to Zoom, it will bring the video to the forefront of whichever student is talking. And then your employer video is going to stay in the foreground here. So Lindsay's on, she's got her video. If she's talking, hers will show up. If then Madeline starts talking, hers will show up. So I do want to run a test. We didn't get a chance to do this morning, so I'm going to try really quick and see whether, sorry about that. Mute myself again. I'm going to try and see whether a shared screen with a video will work, whether our participants are able to hear that. So I'm going to power off my speakers for a moment and we'll let our student testers let me know whether this video comes through. Okay, so I'm clicking on share screen. It's kind of like Inception because Zoom is sharing a screen and then Handshake's going to share a screen as well. So I'm going to share screen 1. And then I'm going to switch over and play a video and see whether this works. So hopefully it doesn't blow anyone's ears out. If it does, I apologize. Here we go. So most likely those on the Zoom call will not be hearing this, but our student testers may be hearing it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause that and stop sharing and switch back over to here. So again, we do have the option to chat, and I will ask them here, were you able to hear the video? And see what they say. So there you go. So proof of concept, it works, you can. Obviously the quality is not going to be as good as if you're sharing it live in the room, but you do have the option to share a brief intro video. Dusty did not hear it. So there you go. There may be some tech issues. Our recommendation would be go ahead and try sharing a video. If the majority aren't hearing it, you can always just give them an intro about your company. So I'm going to go ahead and click on leave session again. And come back over to Zoom. So it looked like some were able to see and hear the video and some were not. We definitely recommend that you have a brief synopsis of your company ready to share with them verbally and not be totally reliant on the video and that technology working. So it does work. It may not work for every student that you see. Questions about group sessions?
Jeff, there hasn't been any questions typed for a little bit. I'll let you know if they pop up.
All right. So that is essentially.
Oh, we have one. Sorry, Jeff.
Go right ahead.
How long can group sessions be?
Great question. Sorry we didn't address that earlier. So as of right now, all one-on-one sessions are 10 minutes and all group sessions are 30 minutes. Handshake does hope to provide more options in the future, but as of right now, those are the times that you're set for. Now, you can, again, jump into a group session a little bit early before students arrive. The Handshake system will not cut it off exactly at 30 minutes. So if you do go over, you should be okay, just bearing in mind that many students may have signed up for a one-on-one session expecting to start right at that 30-minute mark.
Another question, Jeff. Can you set up more than 3 group sessions?
Would you repeat that, please?
Can you set up more than 3 group sessions?
Yeah, so can you set up more than 3? We hope so. As of right now, no. We're limited to 3. Handshake is working to get 5. Their estimate was probably September, but we don't know for certain. So I would definitely say schedule 3, count on 3, and if the 5 option comes out, then that's a great benefit. But as of right now, you are limited to scheduling 3 30-minute group sessions that can host up to 50 students at a time.
Jeff, another question came up. If you have different accounts, can the host set up 3 on each of the accounts?
Oh, that's a super great question. So no, the limitation is 3 per organization or 3 per employer right now. So where you can have as many one-on-one sessions as you have reps available, the video hosting is limited to 3 for the entire organization. Now, again, a workaround for that, if you have different divisions, so you've got your marketing, your sales, your IT, you can set up temporarily separate new Handshake employer accounts for each of those teams, and then they each would be able to host 3 group sessions plus 15 reps to do the one-on-one sessions. So that's kind of the workaround right now. But if you have 1 employer account, then you're limited to 3. And that's not because Handshake wants to limit it, it's just a factor of how quickly they're able to roll this product out. So we'll hang around for just another quick minute if anyone has any additional questions. I do want to let you know we did record this session and we'll be putting it up on YouTube and providing a link so that you can take it back to your team and they can go through the entire walkthrough. Again, this is very, very close to what it's going to look like the actual day of, with the small exception that Handshake is, again, trying to add more features as we go along. So if you understood everything in here, you should be totally set, not only for SUU's fall virtual fairs, but for virtual fairs with any university.
Okay, Jeff, we had another question come through. Arden asked, do you need to have a video prepared to launch to the students or plan to explain everything live?
Yeah, so I did both. So on mine, I've got a video in a different window just up and ready to go that I played when I clicked on share screen. But because it may not work for all the students, you definitely want to be ready to explain everything live. Try the video first if you've got it queued up and ready to go. Obviously, a picture's worth 1,000 words. If the video works, students can get really excited by seeing what your workplace is like, but definitely have that verbal script or memorized option to be able to let them know and advertise your company just in case that video does not work. Okay. So thank you again. We really appreciate everyone who has joined. We will get this video sent out to everybody, and thank you so much for supporting SUU. We really do hope those of you who have not signed up yet for fall fairs that you do consider SUU students. We genuinely believe they're the best. They get small classes, tons of one-on-one practical experience. So they're not just graduating with theoretical knowledge, but really knowing how to work with teams and get things done. Thank you so much and keep in touch. Bye.